Today's a gift we all can feel. The wounds are raw, but time will heal. Be thankful now for where you stand, and hold the world in grateful hands. After the bars, we're rising strong, facing the world where we belong. Recovery burns a steady flame from where he's been.
Hey guys, it's Sam, and this is the After the Bar Show. Happy Wednesday. It's hump day. Humpa. It's a kind of a good hump day, actually. The weather's not too hot. It's not too cold. You know, Montana, man. Montana can be a little crazy. The weather, it snowed in some parts of Montana the other day. Some of the lower plains. I'm not even talking about like the mountains. And then we had hail that was like this big. Anyways, it's a nice day today. Oh, I don't even know. Really, I don't even really know what I'm talking about today. Nothing is very interesting. There's nothing in the news cycle that's really like grabs me. You know, I think the only reason why I put up this story was just because I needed a thumbnail and I needed to talk about something, and so we'll talk about that for a second. It doesn't really mean much. It's pretty common in big cases like this for gag orders to happen. So it's nothing major. But I'm going to talk about a little bit about what it means, and we'll watch a news story about it, see if they glean any info from what the judges are saying, if they're giving any specific reasons. I don't know, man. I don't know. It's like really no big deal, but we got to talk about something. I just wanted to come out here and be with you guys for a little bit today. For real. I was going to come on yesterday, but you know, it's summertime. I have haze. And so we just got really sidetracked, and I wasn't even able to do the story that I want to do, which was, you know, 10 things we should all be asking ourselves about the Karmelo Anthony case. And I don't know. I'm just waiting for some more information before I do that show. So just a slow news cycle. I know I got a little heated about Cincinnati the other night, and we're going to talk a little bit about that. We're going to talk about what the chief of police is now saying, how it's the media's fault, and that you know, the story's taken out of context when no one's even come and talked to the victim yet, except for the guy running for governor. And of course he would, but he's actually a good guy. So we'll talk a little bit about that, but really it's just me and you kids. I'll start to respond.
Good morning to the chaos we ride.
So when I get texts, my own ideas,
Wake up, Sam, he's reborn again. One step forward from where he's been. Turn up the noise, flip the script today. Lights on, Sam, we've got dues to pay. A world on fire, but the winds still blow. This is morning mayhem. Welcome to the show.
I am not doing a mute panel today, John. I know they're funny. I know. Yeah, that's my favorite intro too. That's the OG. That's the OG intro. Actually, there's one a little bit more OG than that. But that was one that I did for me and Tommy, and I just, you know, when I cleaned the slate from that, I wanted to clean it completely, so I don't play that one too much anymore. But that's this one. You guys know which one I'm talking about. Let's
wake up, Sam's got the mic in hand.
That was the very, very, very first intro. Like before I turned it into the harder rock one, where it was just music, no lyrics. But yeah, you know, do I wish it could be different? Absolutely. I absolutely wish it could be different. But I'm super happy where we're at today. And, you know, everything happens for a reason. So anyway, so how are you guys doing today? I'm just going to go into the old chatterosky, the chatterusco. Oh, you know what? I'm going to remove that sticker right now while we're here. Let me just do that while we're here. Might as well, right? It shouldn't take. I noticed it yesterday too, and I was like, oh shit, I got to do that. And then I say, okay, I'll do it in a minute. And then it doesn't happen, but brands, memberships, levels, badges, and emojis. Bam. Edit, replace image. Let me see if I have one that I can find something to replace it with really quick. And then I'll replace it with something permanent later. Let me find something, guys. Here we go. Hopefully this one will work. Oh, yep. There we go. It's just a picture of me. There we go. I changed it. It's a picture of me with my golfing hat on. It's kind of distorted, but it's cool. It's pretty cool. So hopefully that'll change here in a minute. So what else is going on? Let's see who's all here today. Thompson, good morning to you. Therese Norris, good morning to you. Shell Dubs in the house. Dub. Darcy's. Hey, how's it going, Darcy's? John Lazon is here. Scorching here, makes welding fun. There's no way that I would be able to handle that. That's got to be super gnarly. That image should change, guys. Oh, it's saying it must be a ratio of 1-to-1. It's not working. So I'm just going to remove it. And then it'll just be something default for right now. And then I'll make sure there's something badass on there. I have to do like a 1 inch by 1 inch image. Anyways, John Lazon, good to see you. Therese Norris, Cat K is in the house. Eileen Wickenkamp, good afternoon to you. Who else is here? Shannon Trim. Hey, Shannon Trim, good to see you. Cheryl, oh my God, it's good to see you. You made a live. Yeah, I am so glad. Edmund Peacock, is it Picot? Nobody's doing anything good. No, get on with the show. Nobody's doing anything good. No, get on with the show. I don't even understand what that means. But yeah, I am going to get on with the show. But welcome to the show, Edmund. Yep, that's it. All right. So, couple of things. There's a gag order in the Karmelo Anthony case. The judge, well, let's just see what they say here.
And a major development in the Frisco ISD track meet stabbing case this morning. A judge issued a gag order just yesterday, meaning that no one directly involved with this case can speak out about this trial. Trevor Sohaki is live for us this morning outside the Collin County Courthouse with more details on this. And Trevor, who does this order impact directly?
Well, Carmen, this order, of course, applies directly to the families of both Austin Metcalf and Karmelo Anthony. It prevents both of them from speaking, but it also applies to a whole lot more people. We're talking the family's attorneys, the people who speak for the families, any family representatives, also
Ads are off.
the experts, witnesses, court officials, and a whole lot more people. Now, Collin County Judge John Roach, he issued this gag order, and he wrote, quote, "The extensive pretrial publicity poses a serious risk to the fairness of the trial. While people can still post on social media, the families can no longer issue statements, and both sides have spoken since the April 2nd stabbing. That's when police say Karmelo Anthony stabbed Austin Metcalf during an altercation at a Frisco ISD track meet inside a high school stadium. Legal experts say gag orders are common in these kinds of cases and usually don't benefit any one side.
And you see it to protect the integrity of the proceedings. We just saw this in the Bryan Kohberger Idaho murder case. There was a gag order in effect that entire case, which is now being released. Doesn't mean the public isn't going to get to see everything at some point. It just means that for the integrity of the process, the judge is sort of freezing things in place information-wise going forward.
And yesterday was also the court-ordered deadline for Frisco ISD to hand over all the personal information of any student witnesses who were inside of the stadium at the time of the stabbing. Judge Roach also issued a blanket protective order on all of that information to keep it private and out of any prying eyes, just for the eyes of the attorneys involved in the case. Now, this jury trial is still scheduled for June 1st, 2026. The gag order is expected to remain in place through the end of the trial. Live in McKinney, Trevor Sahaki.
So regarding that personal information, I haven't spoke on this yet. Regarding that personal information that's that they're talking about, it really needs to be restricted, especially because it's coming from the defense. It really needs to be restricted to attorneys' eyes only. And that can happen. And I know a lot of people don't want to believe this because they're like, well, no, that's their attorney. They're allowed to see the evidence or the information. They're really not. The judge can say like attorneys only. Just like they can say attorneys, they could say attorneys and only Mrs. Anthony and not Mr. Anthony. They can do whatever they want. I think that definitely needs to happen. It needs just to be attorneys only while they're building the case, and then whatever information they use, they can take out that personal information of the student and or their parent. That absolutely needs to happen because of what Drew Anthony has been doing by using others to speak for the family, like Dominique Alexander, like Charleston White, Dr. Umar. But and that's another reason for, well, the real reason for the gag order is because of all the backlash they've gotten because of the subpoena of the records from the students and the students' family, anyone that was there at the track meet, subpoenaing their personal information. And really it's probably just to say, hey, did you see, just to ask them questions so they can be, questioned, hey, did you see anything? Did you record anything? And we don't care what you recorded. We want to see it, even if it doesn't show anything, because, there might be something that they can see that someone else might not notice. All of the obvious of the reasons why they would want that information. But for sure, that's why the gag order, that because of all the backlash and all the speculation of, the Anthonys are going to get this information and retaliate, and people are going to be scared to come forward and to testify. Those things might be true, but I think it can be done in a way to where people are protected, and the judge has a lot of power and leeway in what he can do regarding the subpoena of that information, and this gag order is one of those things. And he doesn't want this to happen again with any other motions and orders that are made in the future. And so it's just best just to put a gag on the whole thing. I'm glad he put a gag on the whole thing. As a creator, for content, it kind of sucks because, nothing new is going to come out until trial, really. That's going to be, but there's going to be lots of I do feel like Drew Anthony is going to try to get around that, to push their narrative still by, having, his, misinformationists out there, speaking on the case, and they're just gonna be like, oh no one said anything to me, I'm doing this on my own. I predict that there are going to be some situations like that, and that those people are going to be pulled in the to be questioned by the judge in the future. So that's my prediction about that Charleston White, Dr. Umar, whoever else gets involved in this case, and they're speaking on it like you and I are speaking on it right now, that they are going to be pulled in and questioned and asked, did Drew Anthony give you this information, or did Drew Anthony, or did anyone from the Karmelo Anthony side provide you with any information, tell you to say certain things, to be as, have a certain theory, or to provide a narrative that is beneficial to Karmelo. So that's my prediction, that in the future that there will be people brought in, but we might not even hear about it because there's a gag order, right? So so they would be breaking the gag order about them being questioned about breaking the gag order. So I don't know. It's all kind of dumb. In the grand scheme of things. So yeah, it is a bummer for Creator, because we're not going to have anything cool to talk about, but for the case and for justice for Austin, which in the end, that's what we want. We want justice for Austin. And yeah, they've had the Metcalf family swatted. They've attacked Sarah Fields for a fugitive. These are some non-kind folks. Yeah, absolutely. And thank you for your comment, Abby. Can't be trusted. No, they can't. They can't be trusted. Absolutely, they can't be trusted. Not even a little bit. They had the Metcalf family swatted. I think, what is it, 6-7 times now? That is crazy. Someone needs to go to prison for that. For real, they definitely need to go to prison for that. Yep, justice for Austin, 1000%. Thank you, Abby. What else is going on, Chatty Rooskies? I had a pretty heated show the other night. I was just really upset, pissed off about that. I'm calmed down and over it now. It just makes me mad, man, that people think that they're like physically tough and like a badass when they're in mobs like that, and then of course it pisses me off because it's racially motivated. No one can say it isn't. No one can say it isn't. Even if it is taken out of context, and say that couple, said, fuck all you motherfuckers, come on, let's fight. When it became a mob, when the mentality changed to become like a mob, jumping and kicking and stomping and punching and sucker punching the people, no matter what they did, that is not taken out of context. So the police chief has made some statements that are just garbage, and I don't know why. It seems like every story I see now, when there's a police chief doing a press conference, it's just this like this older, overworked lady that's either ashy or pasty white, that is that just is completely, I don't know, man. I don't know. It's something that's come out of DEI, and not always. I'm not saying that none of these people are qualified, because they're qualified. They're in the position, even if it's DEI. That they had some qualifications to do the job, but there's lots of people qualified. It just means that there might be someone more qualified out there. It has nothing to do with them not being qualified, but just there's probably someone more qualified to where they're making better choices for their departments. I found this, I wasn't even thinking of talking about it to this extent right now, but I found this graph on the Benny Johnson show. Let me see if I can pull it up. I didn't have it ready because I wasn't planning on talking about it right now, but I'm going to just show you. Yeah, look at this. This is nuts. This is nuts. This is a graph of reported crime in downtown Cincinnati. And 2023 looks like there was about 518 reported crimes. In 2024, there was 652. Now in 2025, reported like violent crime in Cincinnati, downtown Cincinnati, and we're only in July, there's 995 incidences like what happened the other night reported in downtown Cincinnati. Something needs to change. Something needs to change. They asked the police chief, like, well, where were the officers? And like, well, there was 2 on duty and they were in their vehicles trying to get to the incident. But yet no one was taken to the hospital. No one was, the people that were there with the victims, took them home and bandaged them up or did whatever, but they were never questioned. No one, the state hasn't reached out to anybody. No detective has reached out to anybody. Well, I think maybe one detective reached out to the female who just happened to be there at a birthday party at the jazz festival. She was just there for a friend. And she ends up getting jumped like that really, there's no reason to be jumped like that by a mob. But 995 reported crimes by, let's say, the end of July. So there's still 5 months left. And that's already almost double of what it was in just 2 years ago. Just 2 years ago, it's been doubled. Something needs to change. That police chief needs to step down. She absolutely does. And I think when this new governor gets in, this Vivek, he's going to get elected in Cincinnati. He's an amazing cat. But I think he's going to be making some changes in his justice department. And I know that's all on the city and county level, those police departments, but the governor still can. If the governor's attorney general has to step in too many times, that he's going to call for that person to resign, and he has the power to do that. But let's watch this. I was saving this for just to do a pre-recorded show, but let's go ahead and just watch this. This is Benny Johnson on the subject.
So what the hell's going on with Holly? No one has even asked. Nobody from the state even reached out to her. Can you believe this? No law enforcement has even attempted to find out the story of the woman who is sadly the poster child for anti-white racialized animalistic violence in this country. Vivek did, though. And here's what he has to say. I spoke with Holly earlier today, the woman who was tragically assaulted in Cincinnati, and she's a single working mom who went to a friend's birthday party. It's unconscionable that there were no police present in the area of Cincinnati on Friday night.
Real quick, thank you, Mr. Temple. Mr. Temple says, may the grace of the Lord Jesus Christ abound in all your lives. Thank you so much. May he.
Even as an ambulance was able to take her to the hospital. Hard work, if there was no ambulance available, that's new information. That's insane. Hardworking Americans shouldn't have to worry about their safety when they have a good time in our cities. Holly is not a is not a single, Holly said not a single local or state official had reached out to her as of this afternoon. Not a single state or local official. This is an attempted murder. Like, you'd think you'd want to get her a story, right? But nothing. Other than one police detective. Leftists like to lecture us about systemic injustice while thugs turn our cities into a war zone. I'm done with their excuses as governor. I'm going to make sure that they're behind bars, not running wild. Our cops will have the green light to restore order. No apologies. Holly appreciates the kind words and prayers from patriots across the country. Oh, because we started to talk about this.
Already in this case in Cincinnati. That was just a little bit about Holly and the governor's or the governor to be contact with her. I want to get to the news conference that the police chief made and comment on that.
Yes. Not the corporate media, but because influencers and people who have audiences organically and independently online were able to see this story, came to the aid of this poor couple. And now there are 5 who have been charged in the horrifying viral Cincinnati brawl that left a woman knocked out in the cold. I mean, listen, man, punching a man's one thing, but punching a middle-aged woman twice in the jaw to knock her out cold, son of a bitch. 5 people have been charged. Who are raising these people? No one, actually. I mean, that's right. This is what a lack of father.
Son of a bitch indeed. And Abby, thank you so much for becoming a member. I really appreciate it. That's awesome. Welcome to the After the Bars podcast. You are in good hands with this community. This community is amazing. They are very supporting with any issues that you might have. We're also a recovery channel, so we talk a lot about just hope, staying, keeping in sobriety, all the many paths we talk about. I just did a show on addiction. Is it a choice or is it a disease? So yeah, thank you so much. Thanks for being here. Really, really appreciate you. All right, let's get back to it.
Motherhood looks like, right? Punching a woman out because of her skin color in the middle of the street. A middle-aged woman, single mom, working class single mom. You should get punched in the street, right? This is what a lack of fatherhood actually does. This is what a lack of discipline does. It's sick. It's tribal. It's a zero trust society. It needs to be fixed. And the way you fix it is obviously destroy their lives. Destroy every life of every person who was filming too. Charge them as accessories to the crime. There were hundreds of people who witnessed this and they only got one 911 call. People liked this. They wanted to see it. They wanted to upload the videos to WorldStar. They didn't want to help. So charge them all. Put them all in prison.
Do you guys remember the final episode of Seinfeld? The final episode of Seinfeld is they see somebody getting attacked. And in the end, Jerry, Kramer, George, Elaine, they all go to prison. They all go to jail because they just sat there and watched the attack happen. And because there's laws, and especially in New York and in Los Angeles, that that if at the very minimum you call 911, at the most you would help someone as long as you keep safe. If it hurts you too, it's like saving somebody in a flood. Like, yes, try to save them, but if it's going to take your life away too, then of course, don't risk your life to, save that for first responders. But if you're not dialing 911 and you're recording, then, first responders can't come to the aid or rescue. So there are some laws on the books in different states, different municipalities. I should do a show on that.
5 people have been charged over a vicious beatdown Cincinnati street after a brawl footage went viral. The suspects' names were not released. Interesting. Okay, so let's protect the criminals. Cincinnati Police Chief Teresa Teedage, we'll get to her in a second, declined to specify the charges, but cautioned that more arrests are expected. We have 5 that have been charged and anticipate more, Teedage told reporters 2 days after the 3 a.m. Saturday incident that she referred to as a fight. According to online videos, the fight consisted of mobs stomping the head of a man cowering in downtown street, while a woman was cold-cocked and knocked out, blood pouring from her mouth as she tried to intervene. What the hell is this? What the hell is this archetype? Why does every police chief in America suddenly look like the Wicked Witch? Or Nurse Ratched? Or like angry librarian?
You guys are old enough to know who Nurse Ratched is, right? It was the nurse from One Who Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Do you guys remember that movie with Jack Nicholson? Great movie. Nurse Ratched was awesome. You know, the actress who played her was awesome. But just a great movie, great show. But yeah, Nurse Ratched looks pretty much like this lady.
This is the police chief here. However, she tried to downplay the brawl, calling the weekend outside of this incident an amazing success for the city. Oh, got it. Okay, explaining that there was a baseball game and a music festival happening.
An amazing success because there was only this one incident with a music festival, a big baseball game that was happening. And so this is a success. I get the meaning, you know, like, oh, at least there was only one and not 10, but you know, there shouldn't be any. And if there is one, it shouldn't be a racial attack on a white couple.
We had one incident late Friday night, one incident that nearly led to the murder of a innocent woman. It's getting all the attention and undoing all the good stuff that happened this weekend. These people are insufferable. She needs to lose her job over this. There's no update given on the condition of the targets of the assaults. Tidage says that she didn't know anybody was didn't know if anybody was hospitalized afterwards, but that the victims appeared to be well and could be as well as could be expected. What a monster. Vivek Ramaswamy, obviously, we've covered that. Talked about it. So under, you know, first off, the Trump administration is taking this seriously. Harmeet Dillon said that there may be civil rights violations that she's going to charge. Pam Bondi has ordered the FBI to get involved in the incident where gangs of people are seen beating individuals. The FBI is already conducting interviews with suspects and investigating. This is obviously a predicate in order to get potential civil rights violation charges if they're found to have targeted these people on a racialized.
And look, I know Benny's going to talk about this too here in a second, but I talked about it the other night. The FBI definitely needs to get involved because if it's a hate crime, that's the difference between a 6-month sentence. And I talked about this 2 nights ago, a 6-month sentence and a possible 25-year to life sentence. So people need to be careful when they're committing crimes like this, when they're doing this mob mentality and they're jumping people for their color, no matter if it's white against black or black against white. You can do significant time. And it's not one of those cases where you are just, you know, oh, that's the max, but you know, you're probably only going to do, you know, a year. No, that's a minimum mandatory. Some of those hate crimes have. It could be a minimum mandatory of 20. So people need to be careful.
Basis, then you can make this a federal issue. And while you may get 6 months in jail on a state charge, you can get 25 years to life in prison if it's seen that you're targeting people because of their race. So great job to the Trump administration. Horrible job to the local authorities here. Yeah, sure, you charged 5 people. It took you a number of days to even do a press conference about it. The only reason they're even doing this, woke old Nurse Ratched here, is because of the outrage online. And by the way, she's seething about it. An absolutely wild clip here. Cincinnati Police Chief Terry Tidage attacks people who have been sharing the videos of a black mob attacking a white couple. She claims the footage is distorted and misrepresented what happened. Instead of blaming the violent thugs on camera, she's pointing the finger at social media in an absolutely obscene clip here. Remember, you're the problem for noticing. Here you go.
Another topic I want to cover real quick. Social media and journalism. and the role it plays in this incident. And yes, guys, that's you. That is you. The social media, the post that we've seen, does not depict the entire incident. That is one version of what occurred. At times, social media and mainstream media.
Doesn't matter if that's one version that occurred. Any version is wrong when it became the mob. Now, if it was just two people fighting, that's different. But when it became a mob attacking someone because, you know, somebody else seemed like, oh man, there's a white girl getting beat up over there. Let's go stomp. Let's go throwing a foot stomp. Yeah, there you go, white bitch. Do you know what I'm saying? That's the mentality. We seen it. We watched it. It can be no other context. Who cares how it started?
And their commentaries are a misrepresentation of the circumstances surrounding any given event. What that does, that causes us some difficulties in thoroughly investigating the activity and enforcing the law. Because what happens, that social media post and your coverage of it distorts the content of what actually happened.
We've seen what actually happened. So basically she's saying, you know, don't believe your lying eyes of what happened. Doesn't matter how it started. It doesn't. Just think of, I won't even say it, but we all know what I'm thinking. Just think of what the very worst can be of how that started. It still doesn't justify, and that's what this lady is saying, this police chief. She's saying that if we knew the whole story, our commentary here on YouTube and in other places wouldn't be misinformation. But we're not. This isn't misinformation. I don't care how it started. I know how it ended.
And it makes our job more difficult. Go ahead, right here.
Thank you. 2 questions. Where were the nearest officers?
In the central business section. They were working. They were both in vehicles. And like I said, they had to maneuver through the traffic.
My second question is, you had said social media, news media distorted the content of what actually happened. What exactly was distorted? I understand that there was multiple views of the video, but exactly what led up to this? I mean, what was distorted?
Yeah, so I think by the irresponsibility with social media is it just shows one side of the equation quite frequently without context, without factual context. And then
it pisses me off every time she effing says it. It really does. It really does. And not because I'm a creator. No, that's not why I'm pissed. It pisses me off because like I'm just a creator. I'm an ex-systems engineer, and I have a little bit of brains, but I'm not that articulate and succinct, and I'm not a police chief. I'm not a criminal major, whatever that old major everyone used to get, a law and crime major or criminal. Man, I can't even think of the name of it. See, I'm an idiot. This person is in this position, and now she's spreading misinformation, or at the very least saying like, you guys all suck, and now we can't investigate this right because the media doesn't have all the facts. We don't need facts. We see the facts. Again, the very worst possibility known to man, which we all know what I'm saying, what I'm talking about, could have happened, still doesn't justify what happened.
people run with that. And then it grows legs.
Either
and it
way,
becomes something
black
bigger
or white.
that we then have to try to manage as part of the investigation. So hold
Matt Walsh saying, are there any male police chiefs left in this country? It seems like every law enforcement press conference I've seen this year has been.
I love Matt Walsh. That's who I seen that from first in the beginning. Are there any like male police chiefs anymore?
A female police chief that looks like an ill-tempered librarian. Today's dispatch from the Longhouse. Cincinnati police chief chastises media for showing footage of a black mob attacking white people. Yeah, really makes you wonder. She's, by the way, being sued by her own officers for breach of trust, for lack of safety and decorum, for only this individual is being sued for only promoting women and minorities among her workforce. So it really does make you wonder, what's the what's the motivation here? Motivation should be to have a safe streets in Cincinnati, but that's not happening.
So when we asked, she would not describe what those charges were or whether they've located the people facing those charges. DG called everything seen in the videos unacceptable.
Anyone who put their hands on another individual during this incident in an attempt to cause harm will face consequences. I don't care which side of the incident or the fight they were on.
Okay, now the things we talked about around where this investigation stands. The EG says more than 100 people were in the area and they only got one 911 call. She says that people should be angry about that. As for our role in the fast spread of this story on social media, she called on everyone to do better to show all sides. Now, I asked her why the department waited days to hold a press conference addressing the incident, allowing information to spread unchecked. On that, Chief DG said that she was waiting for investigators to do their jobs and that putting information out too early would be irresponsible. She did not address how all of this started as far as they're concerned. At downtown headquarters, I'm Sean Delancey, WC.
Right, but we're all taking it out of context, but how does she know that? Because for real, she doesn't. Because while she waited till she has more information from the investigators, she has no reason, or she would have stated it anyways.
CPO 9 News.
Listen to this.
Cincinnati police is asking anyone with information about this big fight to contact Crime Stoppers and Cincinnati police. And this weekend's violence adds to growing concerns downtown. In 2022, there were 590 reported crimes by this time of the year. So that number rose ended up to 652. And so far in 2025, we're already at 995. And that's raising some serious questions about safety and what the city is doing to address it. Of course.
Well, it's not safe.
Nightmare.
It's not safe. If you're the minority in downtown Cincinnati, you can't go down there. So, man, I bet you the restaurant owners and the nightclub owners are real happy about that. That needs to be addressed, like ASAP. The Cincinnati Reds were my favorite baseball team, and that was living in Los Angeles, growing up in LA. I was a Dodger fan, but I was a big time Cincinnati Reds fan. So I do have an affinity for Cincinnati. And I don't know, it just needs to be fixed. It definitely needs to be fixed. Guys, I want you to stay tuned for this afternoon. Make sure you have those notifications turned on. I am going to be covering a story that's breaking right now. It's about, I need to get to this thing. Kash Patel found thousands of sensitive Trump Russia probe docs inside a burn bag and secret room in the FBI. That's heavy. So I'm definitely going to cover that this afternoon. I'll just do maybe do a pre-recorded show and just upload it. So make sure you have your notifications turned on. What else is going on out there? Oh yeah, also,
hey guys, sorry to interrupt the video, but remember, hit that like button down below. It really helps the channel to grow bigger and better and more diverse, not that weird creepy kind of government diverse. I'll Samsplain it for you if you want. You want to hear some Samsplaining? Just like the video down below.
After the bars, the story begins. I love that song. But I do say so myself. Abby says, my son was struck by a vehicle and when he was walking and no render to aid. It was a hit and run. That is awful, Abby. That is absolutely awful. I could not imagine. I would be so upset. at just people, my community, wherever it happened. Especially if people did see it. I'm guessing people did. And shame on the person who did the hit and run. Hopefully they were brought to justice eventually. Maybe you could let us all know. My wife was killed by a drunk driver who did hit and run. He was found pretty quickly afterwards. It was in Seattle, downtown, lots of cameras. They had the guy's license plate right away, and he was found. But yeah, she was killed by a hit and run drunk driver, and so yeah, both of those situations pissed me off to no end. The drinking and driving, and then also the hit and run. Like, look, you just have to suck it up, you know, and just, you know, take the I'm trying to think of that saying, let the chips fall where they may, and take the punishment as it's warranted, you know, what you have coming. And there's being on the run for something is the worst. I've been on the run, and I would never choose to be on the run. I would always choose to take the punishment now at this point in my life, because being on the run is garbage. I have friends that have been on the run, and I always encourage them to turn themselves in, to get the ball rolling, to get their jail sentence started and done and over with so they can live their life. Yeah, we report on a lot of bad stuff that happens in this country, but life is amazing. And I'm grateful every day that I have the family I do, that I have you guys. There's so many things that I'm grateful for and that I wouldn't change for $10 million. So speaking of money, John, I'm going to send you something here today also. Just let you know. I don't have my phone. Hazley's got my phone, but when I get it and I talk to Mariana to see what's happening with that, I'll shoot you back something. Let's see. I'm just going to the chat and see what's going on. Post to change the appearance of blacks when violent crimes are committed. Yes. Jay Shander, thanks for being a part of the show, Jay. Jay says, and I didn't know this. Well, I kind of knew this, but new laws being proposed to charge the parents of blacks when violent crimes, and I'm sure whites too, when violent crimes are committed. A great idea to make them think or get mom and dad locked up too. Yeah. But we know they won't think until because there are some laws already on the books. They're just not super strict about it. You know, it's just like if a kid, you know, say my, 14-year-old goes and, smashes someone's car with a hammer or something. And of course I would have to pay for that, because I'm responsible for that kid. So the laws already kind of exist, but I think you're right. New laws that will be enforced need to happen. And so that's great news if that is happening. Thanks for sharing that, Jay. I appreciate you. 1,000,000%. All right, what else is going on? What's the new picture then, Screaming Brett? Is it just the Mayhem logo? I'm interested in what it did by default. I'm trying to see what it is. It's probably the Mayhem logo because a ton of people have it. Well, all right, guys. Well, that's it. I just wanted to come in and check in with you guys. Thank you so much for the new subscribers and the new members. Abby, thank you again so much for becoming a member. That's just awesome. I appreciate that. I don't have members only content per se. It's just kind of a show of support for me just to keep the lights on here. This is like my retirement doing this channel. So I'm really trying to help it grow. And so I appreciate that. But there will be members only content here soon. It's either going to be a call-in show where you can call in. I've done a couple where you can dial a phone number, call in, and we can talk, or I might do a Zoom call. I don't know. But some of the, I am going to be doing a lot more. I have a legal channel called Legal Livewire. I am going to start doing a lot more court stuff on this channel. And that will be members only when I do the court stuff, like uploaded court hearings, things like that. That will be members only. So yeah, so that'll be cool. So I just wanted to comment on that. Other than that, guys, I really ain't got much. But definitely, please hit that like button. And if you've watched more than one show, please hit the subscribe button. Make sure you turn on the notifications so you don't miss any of my content. Be expecting something again this afternoon. I'm going to talk a little bit about that Kash Patel situation. I want to find out a little bit more about it. I just happened to run across it when I was looking for some Cincinnati info on X. So hopefully I'll have something cool to talk about later. And you're welcome, Abby. And I know you're thinking the community, but those are my peeps. And from them to you, from me to you, thank you so much for being here, and welcome to the community. Usually we do a show in the morning. It's usually around between 9 and 10. I'm a little late this morning. Been a little late because it's summertime and I have my 6-year-old, so things have been a little wacky. But when school starts back up, it'll be more consistent. And yeah, life is good. All right, guys, you guys have an amazing day, and I will see you soon. Bye. Oh, be kind. Don't forget to be kind to yourselves. Be kind to yourself.
Oh wow, well this has been a journey. This has been a journey for us, like a journey through from legal troubles to mental health issues, to my own struggles, to your struggles, you sharing your struggles with me. I appreciate you, and thank you for that. Good night, good morning to the listeners of the After the Bar shows, from the morning mayhem shows, or the random nighttime shows. Good night, good morning to the listeners of the After the Bar shows, from the morning mayhem shows, or the random nighttime shows. My people, from recovery to legal trials, hope and unity is what we're speaking about. It's a long way to the promised land. All my people understand that this land is our land. One nation under God, and ain't a thing changed. This ain't that, and ain't this, not the same thing. I'm about to bust a move, this a new groove, kinda like a mission, not the Blues Brothers. Good night, good morning to the listeners of the After the Bar shows, from the morning mayhem shows, or the random nighttime shows. Good night, good morning to the listeners of the After the Bar shows, from the morning mayhem shows, or the random nighttime shows. I can feel it, it's a new day. We've got a long way to go. Don't lose faith, don't let the mind games change you. What you see on TV is not always true. You could be anything you want to. I don't know about you, but I am not who I used to be. Not who I used to be. Not who I used to be. No. Good night, good morning to the listeners of the After the Bar shows, from the morning mayhem shows, or the random nighttime shows. Good night, good morning to the listeners of the After the Bar shows, from the morning mayhem shows, or the random nighttime shows.